When it comes to talking, narcissists have a few things in common. They tend to be more interested in talking about themselves than hearing what others say. They're often very good at telling stories and spinning an exciting tale that makes you feel like you're the most important person in their life. How do you recognize that you are already talking to a narcissist? Today, you will learn 5 ways narcissists talk that you should remember. Number 1. Narcissists use a lot of I and me statements. Narcissists use a lot of I and me statements when they're talking. That's because narcissists see themselves as the center of the universe. Narcissists believe that everything that happens is because of them and their actions. They also think that everyone should be able to see things from their perspective and understand why they do what they do. Narcissists make everything about themselves. Narcissists love to brag about themselves and their accomplishments. Still, they'll give you half answers or blank stares when you ask them about other people. If you ask them about their day or what they did this weekend, they'll give you a vague answer like nothing or not much. Or if you bring up a topic that's not related to them directly, they'll have something to say about it, but only because it's related to them. Narcissists don't really care about the topic itself. They just care that it allows them to talk about themselves somehow. Narcissists are known for being self-involved and self-centered. Narcissists love to talk about themselves. They're so caught up in their own lives that they can't see beyond their own needs and desires. Number 2. Narcissists tend to speak overly positively, even when describing something negative. Narcissists tend to speak over positively, even when describing something negative. This is because they want to come across as a good person and don't want to admit fault or wrongdoing, even if they feel guilty about it inside. This is also because they are constantly trying to put their best foot forward and hide their true selves. Their words are often a reflection of this behavior. They'll say, "I'm not sure if it'll work out with us, but I'm willing to give it a shot." Narcissists don't want people to know that they might not be able to do what you ask them to do. So, they'll try to make it seem like it's more of a possibility than it really is. Narcissists also tend to use a lot of empty compliments, which they know will make the person they're talking to feel good about themselves. You'll hear them say things like, "I'm just so happy," or "You look beautiful today." Even if they aren't feeling either of those things, they'll still say them anyway because that's what they think. Narcissists want people to believe they have polite behavior, even if that means lying. They'll say things like, "It's not that bad," or "It could be worse." In other words, they'll use the word could instead of would. This is because narcissists are always trying to make themselves look good, even by putting someone else down. No matter what they're talking about, they'll make it sound like the best thing ever, even if it's not. Number 3. Narcissists use a lot of exaggeration and hyperbole in conversations. Narcissists are known for their big talk and the extravagant claims they make. They may claim to be the world's richest person, or say that they have a mansion on every continent. In reality, their bank account may not be as high as they imply, and they might actually live in a modest apartment. Narcissists also tend to exaggerate their jobs and achievements. They'll often claim that they have won awards or achieved major milestones in their career, even if those claims aren't true. Narcissists love to exaggerate. They will say things like, "I'm the best," or "I'm the greatest." They also tend to use a lot of hyperbole, which is when you make something seem more important than it really is. For example, if someone says, "I'm so hungry," the narcissist might respond by saying, "Well, I'm starving." They might also tell you that they just ran 10 miles, when they only went for a walk around the block. Or the narcissists might say they're so tired, they feel like they could sleep forever, but then go home and stay up all night binge watching Netflix. Narcissists love to make themselves out to be the most important person in the world, and they'll tell you how great they are, what a hard life they've had, or how hard your life has been because you're not them. Narcissists like to talk about themselves so much because it makes them feel important and special. Still, when you're around them, it can be overwhelming. And if you're not careful, they might try to make you an extension of themselves. Just never healthy. Number 4. Narcissists use words that don't mean what they seem to mean. When narcissists talk, you might have noticed that they use words that don't mean what they seem to mean. Narcissists are master manipulators, and one of their favorite tricks is to use words that don't mean what you might think they do. To a narcissist, I love you doesn't mean I love you. I need you to give me something or put up with my crap. You might be thinking, but how can a word mean two things? It's simple. A narcissist uses words like love, need, and friendship as tools to get what they want. Narcissists use many comments that are just empty phrases like, I'm fine or I love you. These words are meant to be comforting or reassuring, but they don't mean anything in reality. They just sound good. When you listen to a narcissist talking, pay attention to these words. If someone says something like, oh my goodness, how was your day? And then responds with something like, it was good, I guess, it probably means their day wasn't perfect. Narcissists aren't really asking about your day at all. They probably just want to make sure everyone knows how great their own lives are. If someone asks you how your day was and then seems uninterested in hearing the answer, this is another hint that they aren't really interested in caring about your life or even listening to what you have to say. Number 5. Narcissists use a lot of blaming language. When narcissists talk, they always make sure to blame someone else for whatever happened, even if it was their fault. They will say things like, you never listen to me, you're always late, or you never call me back. They'll accuse you of doing things they are guilty of doing. This is because narcissists are never wrong about anything. Narcissists need to be in control and have everyone know it. It's all about them after all. When someone calls them out on something they did wrong, narcissists will try to turn it around. This is how they avoid feeling bad about themselves or facing the consequences when they do something wrong, so that the other person looks bad instead, and then leaves before there's time for an honest discussion or accountability that can happen. Narcissists can be very annoying to be around, especially if you're the one who has to hear all of their ranting and complaining. They use many blaming language, shifting responsibility for their own actions onto other people or things. Narcissists don't take responsibility for their actions. They just blame others. Narcissists are difficult to recognize based on looking at them. There are additional factors to consider, one of which is how they communicate. They'll tell you they're the best, brag about their achievements, and demand that you devote your full attention to them. You'll quickly know them by the way they speak. Their statements may be charming because of how they say them, but remember that their deeds rarely match their words. Comment down what you think below. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. Watch this next video over here.